Have you ever played a game that made you feel sorry for the people that made it? Mission Impossible for the Game Boy Color is a game like that. You can tell that the developers really wanted it to be good, but oh, they failed. It looks like they were trying to make the game like Metal Gear, which would have been very appropriate. In the Metal Gear games, the guards have a laughably short visual range, but that limitation makes the game better. In Mission Impossible, guards can see you before you even know that they are there. By the way, one hit will kill you and send you back to the beginning of the mission. Getting spotted by guards will put them permanently on alert for the rest of the mission, and add more guards to the level. An alert guard will instantly know if you are behind him and attack you. On the plus side, the guards literally have tunnel vision and have a tough time seeing you if you are crawling. I'm inconspicuous. Although each mission has several objectives, the levels are mercifully short. You have several gadgets, but you can't select them. They can only be used when you are in the right spot to use them. In fact, the only way you know that you have reached an objective is when the gadget is selected for you. Arrows pointing out the objectives would have been helpful. In fact, I often needed arrows just to find the exits. The game tries to use context-sensitive actions to get around the Game Boy Color's limited number of buttons, and much of the time it works. But there are other times when I was wondering why little 8-bit Tom Cruse suddenly stopped running and started jumping around like he was on Oprah's couch. The graphics are actually really good, and the animation is surprisingly smooth, though some of the animations look pretty goofy. Most of the music is good, but the sound effects are annoying. With all of the cheap deaths and poor design choices, there were times when I wondered if this mission really was impossible. It actually only took me about 3 hours to complete the game, but it felt a lot longer. I don't have the manual, and couldn't find one online, so I don't know if it gives more detail on the story. All you really learn in the game is that a rogue general intends to use nuclear missiles, and Ethan must stop him. The general's goals and motives are never explained. We aren't even told what country's military he is a part of, or why that country lacks the power to stop him. People shoot each other with the world's biggest, slowest bullets. The IMF has also equipped Ethan with special stun grenades that don't have to be thrown. Just push the B button and all enemies will freeze. That sure saves the animation team some trouble. Ethan can also try to kick people, but most likely they will kill him first, even if they didn't know he was there until he was already halfway through his kick. In addition to the game, there is also a basic calculator, address book, and notebook. Apparently this copy was once owned by a guy named John, and he either liked a girl named Sarah, or the SARS virus. We'll never know because he ran out of space. The main reason that I wanted this cart was because it can function as a remote control using the Game Boy Color's infrared port. I imagined pranking friends and family by pretending to play a game while their TV started acting up. Unfortunately, you can't just type in a code like you can with a universal remote. You program it with a series of button presses that I assume are explained in the manual. Like I said, I feel bad for the developers. Nobody sets out to make a bad game. The artists and musicians did a very good job, but the programmers clearly did not have the time to make the game they wanted to. The game is obviously unfinished, and that is on the publishers, not the developers.